Have you ever felt lost and lonely?
I have.
As though you lost your way.
You know, when you really rock with niggas and later find out they ain't really rocking with you, how you rock with them, that shit hits different.
Niggas could never say I did them wrong. Gave up the shirt off my back and still got shitted on. Swore to under the bridge, I'm glad them niggas gone. Now my only regrets is putting niggas on. Niggas could never say I did them wrong. Gave up the shirt off my back to keep these niggas warm. That's water under the bridge, I'm glad these niggas gone. Now my only regrets is nowadays it's hard for me to even show love, homie. I thought them niggas was like me till I had to watch them fold up on me. Now I ain't running with no niggas but that pole up on me. I keep that tray with me, wish you would roll up on me, nigga. I ain't mad, everybody just ain't built the same. I really thought we was bros, now I don't feel the same. Taught y'all the game, then y'all niggas changed. And that shit fake, and then y'all niggas changed. Now I can't fuck with you.
Have you ever felt lost and lonely? As though you lost your way.
You ain't too, you crazy for this one.
If it makes you feel better, there are millions of people who feel the same way.
I still remember when I came up, niggas was all on my phone. But when I was down bad, niggas changed up. That's a different pain. Said they was riding, but they must be in a different lane. Street royalty and loyalty all in my veins. Switching up on your day ones, that shit is lame. We don't do that over here, so join a different game. I still play the game I go, even though like the NBA, it's a different game. I could feel it all in my bones. When niggas had beef, they was calling my phone. These days I can't believe I used to call them my bros. When I was up 100, they was all on my phone. But when I was down to nothing, poof, all of them gone. Had to get this shit back, jumping all on my own. Like it's money on my head, bread all on my dome. But all I ever wanted was the ball with my bros.
Have you ever felt lost and lonely? As though you lost your way.
You ain't too, you crazy for this one.
If it makes you feel better, there are millions of people who feel the same way.
Good afternoon, y'all. How y'all doing today? Coming at y'all one more time. Didn't expect to be back on here this quick. But as I was on my way to the gym today, I get a call from my 86-year-old aunt, who I love dearly. And, you know, I know one thing, she ain't on YouTube. She don't have a YouTube channel. You know, so the whole thing, she's talking to me about she's not doing well and she's doing so. And I go, what's wrong, Auntie? She said, I just want you and your brother to get along. And I said, what you mean? She said, whatever you put out there, please take it down. And I said, Auntie, where was y'all when this man was putting stuff out about me for the last couple of years? Please help me understand that. And she's crying and saying, I just want y'all to get along. Your mother's turning over in her grave. And I understand all of that. And if I could really honor my auntie wishes, I will. So Mr. Brian Glaze Gibbs, I'm going to make you an offer that the government never did with you. You know how when you told on all those people who had nothing to do with your case? This is my offer to you. You got 1 week to take down everything that you put up, not only about me, but every individual, because they got family too. You take it down, and I promise not to fully expose everything about you. You know I got boxes of your paperwork that you sent to me in 1997 when you was being released. Stuff that I didn't even know I had until my son cleaned out the garage back in 2008, 9, whatever may be the case. And it took me about 2-3 years before I actually read that paperwork. So I promise to you that you pull down all that negative shit that you got on YouTube and Infomon, then we'll do something. But other than that, we're going to get to the root of the cause. Who is Brian Glaze Gibbs? Brian Glaze Gibbs is my younger brother of 11 months. I'm 11 months his senior. We grew up in the Bedford-Stuyvesant area of Brooklyn, New York. I would say around the age of 10, I was in public school that we moved to Cypress Hills Projects. Could have been a little later. I don't actually remember the date. So I knew I was going to the 5th grade. I was kicked out of school by then, y'all. I was one of those mischievous kids, so I knew by the 7th grade I was going to IS-292 in East New York, so that kind of give us a range. And when we moved to Cypress Hills, we moved to 455 Fountain Avenue. And as we moved there, within a week or two, Glaze met a cat named Walter Johnson, better known as Tut. So that was his nemesis from that week that we moved there up until, and they had a little love-hate relationship. Tut used to go boxing school, and as he went to boxing school, he used to try to bully Glaze, and they got in a couple of tussles. And one day Tut came up there to the 6th floor. We lived in apartment 6G, and as he came up there, he's trying to play that same shit with me. And I boxed his ass, and I guess I hit harder than Glaze, and the motherfucker never tried that with me no more. So as time went on, you know, Glaze, he got out there in the street, but he was never a bad cat or never really trying to do too much. I was always the hustler in the family, from getting a messenger job, and after getting a messenger job, shit, I would go, every office I would go into, if nobody was looking at me, I would look for their petty cash. And I remember one day going in the office and seeing the petty cash, shit, the lick was like $3,000 something. I was down there in Wall Street area. I went in one of those office building bathroom and hid the damn petty cash. It was in an envelope, and when I did that, I went to the same office that I was supposed to deliver the package because nobody had saw me, and went and delivered the package. And one of the ladies say, "Wasn't you just in here?" I say, "No, not me." You understand? So anyhow, make a long story short, I remember going shopping that day, buying DJ equipment. And when I got home, I gave Glaze and my younger sister $100 apiece, and took Glaze shopping to Delancey Street, the famous Auction Street. So, you know, he always was a brother that looked up to me, you understand, when he was growing up younger. But as he got older, it seemed like the dude just wanted my life. And, you know, I kept getting calls over the last couple of years. Yo, why is you letting that dude say all these things about you on the internet, on YouTube? They say, yo, we know it ain't true. And I go, yo, I'm going to do the Michelle Obama rules on him. When they go low, we go high, and don't even respond to that shit. So it's been a lot of shit out there that I ain't even know was out there because I don't follow him on YouTube. You know, he been blocked me off Facebook since November 2019. Those of y'all who's on my Facebook page of James Cool, y'all actually know that I have posted his federal agreement where he told on over 50 people. Could be 100, I don't remember. But he told on at least 10 people from his crew, for Herm, to his stepbrother Country, and others, you understand? Jesus, Little D, all people, Jesus and Little D, the Fatah brothers, and other people had nothing to do with his case. He had no business saying nothing on there. And let me pose one question to y'all guys. How do you tell my partner, Little D, without telling on me? Me and this guy have been together for years. So how do you give information on him without triggering it? And you know, when the guy got picked up in November '88 and was doing that bid, he used to call all the time. And we be saying amongst each other, me, D, and some of the homies, yo, how this dude be on the phone all the time? We used to just say, damn, this motherfucker be on the phone more than anybody in jail. And we laugh it off. But what he was doing was gathering information. You know, like, yo, I heard about this, what happened? And you know, we dumb enough giving him detail if we know about the incident, you understand? We giving him detail what happened, but he was actually feeding this damn detail to the federal agents. So anyhow, my man was giving the feds information that we was giving him about events that's happening out in the street. And we didn't know. And so it was this incident that he wanted to talk to D because he found that D had slept with his wife. Now, remind you, while D was doing a violation back in 84, I believe, this guy, Glaze, slept with D brother Tweety girl, Cola. And while he was doing it, I was saying, yo, what the hell are you doing? And he go, yo, she wanted to give me the ass, you understand? So I just took it. And I said, yo, that shit ain't right, bro. You understand? But him and Cola, they went on for months with that dumb shit. And so, you know, the street talk. So eventually, people figure out that these two were sleeping together. So, you know, I mean, hey, that's my brother, what the hell? I ain't going back and telling him, even though D my partner. You understand? I didn't like the shit, but I didn't tell. You know? So lo and behold, I goes away September 86 on a 2.5 years violation that I owe these people. You understand? And when I go away on that violation, it was for attempt murder. We goes to Latin Quarter one night, and my partner, he's messing with a girl from Rogers Avenue named Deb. And she used to have a baby daddy named KB. So they pull up to Latin Quarters one night, find out that we in there, and talking about they gonna kill my partner, Lil D. So, you know, we ain't having that dumb shit. We really out there in the streets, you understand? We come out the quarters, you understand? We probably was manipulated that night because some nigga named Rome, Yuckmouth, Jerome Privet came and told us, yo, those niggas say they gonna kill Lil D. So you know what? We ain't letting a minute go by. Yo, where those people be? They be on Rogers and Prospect. We get in the whip, we go right over there, see the cats. We see the cats, we unload on the cats. We unload on the cats. Next thing we know in our rearview mirror, motherfucking detectives is in an unmarked car is coming at us, you understand? We go, what the hell? They had the cops waiting on us, but lo and behold, it was a school on that block what they were staking out, which we didn't know. You know, the car, we was in two cars. The car that I was in got pulled over. We jumped out and we ran. People throwing guns all over the way, everywhere. I get caught after about a 5-minute chase. They find a Uzi, 45, and a 9. You know, they beat my ass that day, and I got bailed out the next day. Lo and behold, I was on parole. I go to the parole officer. He acting like, hey, I see you got caught with all these weapons. I say, man, that wasn't me. But lo and behold, he said, oh, all right, it wasn't you, it wasn't you. By the next time I go to court for this shit, I happen to see him and his partner. And I said, damn, what the hell they doing here? I was the first case called that morning. As soon as I come out the courtroom, him and his partner is at the door. The dude go, yo, I gotta take you in. My supervisor say, take you in. So here it is. I'm a motherfucker who got over $300,000 in cash in the crib, and I'm going to jail with no bond. because when they got a parole hold on you, you don't get no bond. You understand? I can't even come home. So anyhow, make a long story short, you understand? This headquarters that Glaze talk about in Cypress Hill housing was an apartment that we had moved to from 455. It was the same building my aunt lived in, 1266 Sutter Avenue. We moved in that apartment. Before my violation, back in May, Glaze had did a court of body for somebody who robbed the spot that me and D had on Ralph and Pacific. Glaze had nothing to do with that spot, never owned that spot. But he took one of his buddy over there, Clyde Gibbs. And when he took him over there, Clyde doubled back one night and robbed the spot. And when Clyde robbed the spot, you understand, it brought a problem. The guys inside told who did this thing. When I told Glaze who robbed the spot, he felt responsible because he brought him over there one day just because he was in the neighborhood. After that, Glaze unknowingly made up his mind that he was going to get Clyde. He saw Clyde one evening in Cypress Hills, and he asked Clyde, was he strapped? Clyde said, yeah, he's strapped. He told Clyde, yo, take that shit up because it's hot out here. As Clyde took his weapon up, Clyde left his girl downstairs in the car. So Glaze and them made the girl get in the car with them, him and Anwar. When Glaze made the girl get in the car with them, he drove off. When he drove off, they went a couple of blocks, he pulled the girl out the car and asked her, yo, why your man robbed the spot? And the girl go, huh? I don't know what you talking about. What you mean? He said, why did your man rob the spot? And next thing he know, he said he blew the girl brains out. And I go, what the fuck you do that for? I didn't know he was going to do it. He said he didn't know he was going to do it. But lo and behold, the young cat who was driving the car with him had a good job at General Motors. He get caught some days later because the girl family told who was with Glaze. He get picked up and he spills his gut. They implicating, yo, you got a chance. We know you a clean cut guy. You only got a youthful record. You understand? But Glaze and Kool-Aid is through. You understand? They killed that girl. So the guy gave him straight up. He said, yo, Kool had nothing to do with that. Kool wasn't even there. Kool know nothing about what happened. So he told him everything what Glaze did. They put out a warrant for Glaze. We goes to get Glaze a lawyer. And when we get the Glaze the lawyer, we get an Anwar lawyer. As we get Anwar a lawyer and give the guy $3,000 for Anwar case, you understand, for a deposit, he came back within 10 minutes and go, why is y'all paying for this guy a lawyer? He's saying, Brian Glaze Gibbs, he's saying you did everything. So he said, I can't represent him. You understand? If you want me to represent you, you understand? So we said, damn, I'm gonna go see the dude. So we went to try to see him the very next visiting day. They had already put a block against us from visiting him. His moms didn't want us to have no contact with him. So lo and behold, I was, Glaze get arrested. He turned himself in May 86. This happened in February 86. He turned himself in February 86. You understand? May 86. When he turned himself in, he get no bond. So now I'm left to pick up the baggage. So Anwar was ready to testify against him, and as his trial was coming. I wasn't out no longer. When Glaze was going to trial in June of 1987, we had to get stuff right with Anwar. In order for him not to testify, I instructed D to drop off money to pay for Anwar so he won't testify. So 20 grams was dropped off, so that's what he wanted, so he wouldn't testify. At least that's what we was told he wanted. It wasn't until 2017 that I actually saw Anwar for the first time, and he told me, yo, he only got 10,000 of that money. So, knowing the crab shit that Glaze is capable on, that means he kept 10,000 of that money. You understand? But he had spots. He was making $40,000 a day. I mean, if y'all believe that, I got some land over here that I want to sell y'all for $10,000 an acre. You understand? And I mean, I got over 1,000 acres. So whoever want to be the first one to buy, holler at your boy. You know, Glaze is a professional, pathetic liar. Y'all ever heard of the word narcissist? That's what he is. He know everybody's life story, but he won't give full detail on his life. Right, Brian Glaze Gibbs? And he wants y'all to make it seem like he is the most cold-blooded killer in New York that ever came out of New York. I mean, shit. I done been in those streets. And I mean, from every community that I ever been in, you got those dudes a dime a dozen. Because again, when you fuck up, they do what they gotta do. That's just how people roll. And you could go all across this country, from Kansas City to California to Milwaukee. You got them in every hood. So really help me understand what's so special about this dude. And this dude really wants y'all to believe that he held somebody like me down when I've been in those streets way before him. You understand? From Skate City to Roxy to the Latin Quarters to Bentleys. You understand? And matter of fact, who protected me while he was gone? You understand? During his violation, I mean when he had his cases, who the hell protected me? You know who protected me? I protected me. You know why? Because I ain't play that BS. You understand? I used to go to hoods by myself. Eden Ward Projects, Bronx, New York. Peace out to y'all. Edgemere, Far Rockaway. Peace out to y'all. You know, Kingsborough, Albany Projects. As a matter of fact, it was a situation in Albany Projects. I went out there with my man Domino. This was way back in the days, probably 79, 78. We got the little nameplates, Kool-Aid nameplates. And this probably was the biggest ones that they had out at the time. And, you know, we went to a house party. And, you know, I ain't know nobody out there. I was out there with Domino. You understand? That was my homeboy. We hung out every day. You understand? And when we goes to this house party, you know, cats are scheming. And they wanted to rob me and Domino. But Domino had two cousins out there, Ty and Tony. And cats knew them. And they knew that was Domino's cousin. So they say, all right, we won't rob your cousin, but we're going to get the other kid. So when the kid came back to me and said, yo, they want to get you. Now, I had a 25 on me, but it was like 12 of them. You understand? So I did my thinking, critical thinking and say, now it's 12 on me. I got 8 shots. What the hell I'm going to do if 12 of them come at me? You understand? So you know what I did? They said, yo, we're going to get you out of here. Even though I had a 25, they walked me out. And when they walked me out, you understand, we got outside and the train station was about 4 or 5 blocks away. You know, they walked me halfway and then they turned around. So you know what I'm saying? I mean, I will admit to y'all, you know what I did? I ran to this train station and about 2-3 days later, they told me, they said, yo, we turned around and you was gone. I said, you damn right. What the hell I'm going to stay for and go against 12 when y'all motherfuckers already told me that, you know what I'm saying, ain't nothing y'all could do. You understand? So sometimes you got to do what's smart for you. You understand? But ain't there other time that I ever depend on nobody but me to do whatever. I used to carry, after that, a Smith & Wesson, a famous 4.4. You understand? That I know that was going to keep people off of me. You know, so like I say, y'all can sit and believe. And those who know me, shout out to those all over New York, Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, that used to see me out there. You understand? I was one of those dudes, you don't mess with me, I ain't gonna mess with you. You know, and that's just facts. You know, we made our own money. We was never flunkies. We didn't work for nobody, unlike Glaze. You know, he couldn't wait for the opportunity to work for Fat Cat and do cat dirty work. You know, it's just like somebody being in jail washing somebody's laundry, you know. I mean, again, if you was bosses, you understand, and you had a headquarters in Brooklyn, New York, in Cypress Hill Project, which was an apartment that my mother moved out of after he killed that innocent young lady for no reason. No reason. He killed the innocent young lady, and he's very proud of that. Other than that, I know of him shooting one guy for laughing at him probably when he was 17 years old, because the dude said it was laughing, and he told the dude, say I won't, and the dude say you won't, looked him in the face and say you won't, and he shot the kid. Other than that, he gets no credit for none of that other shit that he had other little shorties doing. Shout out to my man Sty Ron Du. He's no longer amongst us, so that's why I can talk about it. He done most of that Glaze dirty work. You know what I'm saying? And it's been one or two other little shorties. So that's the only honorable thing that I know of Glaze, you understand, taking away for shit that people under him did, you understand, of claiming those bodies. But, you know what I'm saying, he orchestrated the killing of Cat baby mother Maisha. He orchestrated the killing of somebody named Perry, somebody father who was locked up, who was down with Cat case, you understand, in a laundromat. And there's some other shit. I don't remember the whole details because, again, I wasn't involved in it. But, again, that was my younger brother. So I used to get whipped of certain shit, you know. So, again, Glaze ain't all he seemed to be. Glaze is a cartoon character, you understand, that got a wild imagination, and he's been selling y'all lies. Again, I ain't never responded because I don't be on the YouTube like that. I didn't even know he had these many stories out about me. Using me because he ain't getting his way with me. The cat owed me $30,000 since 2005. He won't tell y'all that. He won't tell you I took him to the NBA game in Denver in 2005 and then to the NBA All-Star game in Vegas in 2007 is when I realized he spent my money. We in the casinos, I had bought out like $8,000 out there with me. And when I ran through that, I said, yo, go get me $5,000. He said, yo, I'm broke. I said, no, I'm not asking you to go get your money. I'm asking you to go get my money. So he went to the teller's machine and got $3,000. And I said, well, what happened to the $5,000? He said, yo, I'm broke. I said, again, bro, I'm asking for my money, not your money. He said, yo, well, I'll talk to you about that. So, you know, that was the first indication that he had spent my money. You know, so, I mean, after that, we kind of fell out because, you know, this dude tried to pay me back $100, $200 a month. How the hell are you ever going to see your money back? And then he stopped those payments. So we went through that for about 2 or 3 years before I said, you know what, bro, keep that shit. I don't want it because he was making it difficult. And, you know, so in between then, you know, we'll patch shit back up, try to do the brotherly thing again. But then I believe in 2012, 2013, I had took that paperwork that my son found in the storage house when he was cleaning up into a room over my garage. And one season, it was football season, that I finally picked those paperwork up to read. And as I'm reading the paper, it was like one of those books that you can't put down because it was shit in there that I never heard of, that I couldn't believe, because the first thing Glaze ever say when he got picked up for that RICO situation back in November '88 was that he ain't never. No, first he asked. He said, "Yo, these people trying to offer me a deal to testify against Cat and Pappy and them," and he was trying to get the feel of what we would think. So I straight up told him, "Yo, I ain't with that shit, bro." I said, "You wanted to be the man. So being that you wanted to be the man, you got to go with the flow." I said, "The man don't do shit like that." You understand? And I was one of the only one out of the people he talked to all through Brooklyn, from his old school friend Michi to LD to whoever all he talked to. I was the only one who told him that. You understand? No, I ain't with that. You understand? You got to do what you got to do. You got to go to trial and beat this shit. I don't want to see you get life, but I definitely don't want to see you rat on nobody. And, you know, he said, yo, I respect that. But he still did what he wanted to do. You know, so that's really, you know, the honest truth. And this other clown shit that he talks about me with somebody named Allah Just, he's only giving you hearsay, and the hearsay he got is from me. It was a cat named Calvin McLeod, Allah Just. He did come to Cypress Hills back in 1986, 87, and he sold me a gun, you know, which it was no stipulation when he sold me the gun. You know what I'm saying? So a couple of months later down the road, you understand, I get up with the cat named L Son from the A-Team, and you know, he happened to bring up his name, and I said, oh yeah, I just bought a gun from that dude back in a couple months ago. No, now not knowing that was gonna cause a problem, but come to find out, the team had gave him that gun to sell, but we was considered enemies because my man LD always had beef with the A-Team. But you know what? I ain't give two shit about that. I mean, listen, long as you didn't fuck with me and I wasn't with LD at the time, you know, that was one of those things. I mean, LD and them had a team of their own. They handled their own beef. You understand? So I ain't caring nothing about that shit. You understand? I wasn't considered an enemy. I didn't thought I was an enemy. You understand? I used to walk through that bitch whenever I feel like, because that's just what I did. I mean, that was my project, just like it was their projects. You understand? I was one of those that I didn't fear none of that nonsense because I used to go where I want to. You know, and that's just what it is. Now, don't get me wrong. Growing up in Brooklyn, I was tried. I came up through the ranks like everybody else did. You understand? I mean, I done got punched in my face. Wasn't always the best fighter. I done had a silver medallion snatched from me when I was like 15, 16. Shout out to Dirty Ron. But those are the cats that made me who I am today. And right after that, you know, I got the gold nameplate. And I was itching. I was already ready because just from that lesson, I was itching for any other cat to ever try me again. And you know, from that day on, ain't nobody ever tried me until probably sometime in 95 when those cats, no, they tried me again in 94. I was going to Fort Greene Projects, you understand, dating a chick for the first time. And as I took her home, I think this was February 94 from a movie, as I took her home, these cats in Fort Greene, homicide, shout out to the late Killer Ben. This was before he was actually a man. He was a real youngster. Then him and some other cats tried to rob me, and I lit their ass up. I hit two of them and ran through the park and got away. And as I was getting away, they started bucking. But the element of surprise is when the mother turned me around to try to rob me, put the gun in my face. I was already spinning out on them, trying to hit the cat in his face with my shot, and they all scattered. So I did hit two of them. I know I put one of them on a shit bag, and from that day on, you understand, I had the utmost respect in Fort Greene. Shout out to Fort Greene, Brooklyn. You know, but just like I say, those are the kind of stories that, you know, cats know, hey, I'm a cool individual. And a lot of people say my name fitted me because if you didn't bother me, I ain't bother you. You understand? I ain't never went out my way to be no tough guy or bad guy. You understand? I always hold my own. That nonsense that Glaze be talking that somebody needed him or they knew not to mess with him. You know why they never mess with him? Because they knew about the family from Kingsborough. You understand that we was all gathered together, that if you touch him, you had to see us. We were surrounded by grown men. He was surrounded by a bunch of little kids. So that was the difference. He was easy to take out. You understand? You cut off the head and everybody else gonna fall in place. You understand? Dealing with the family, we dealt with men. It was me, my partner, and a whole bunch of dedicated brothers who was down with the cause. They was down with the cause because we treated them right. We didn't send them on stupid missions. You know, so again, I'm gonna make Glaze an offer. Take down all that negative BS that you got up there about me and anybody else. Close down shop, and I won't expose you with all the people names and information that you gave up on them. Okay? Okay. Peace.